G'day everyone, this is your French Formula One Fantasy Grand Prix review hosted by Fox Blockheads. It's a little bit late this fortnight, this week. We've got a double header with Austria this weekend, so if you want to make some changes, this may help you. The French race results. We have Lewis Hamilton, who almost got the perfect weekend. He ended up with 44 points. Leclerc with 32, didn't end up second on the road, but still got second because he beat his teammate, picked up those fantasy points. Valtteri Bottas with 31, taking out third place in the race. Mercedes with the top team with 70 points, and the fastest lap on the last lap was Sebastian Vettel, picking up the +5. Driver fantasy results in France. Here we go. This is how the drivers ended up after France. Hamilton, Leclerc, Bottas, like I said, Verstappen, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen and Sainz. You can see they're highlighted in green. That's because their value was more than 2. So green highlights as more than 2. Daniel Kvyat in 9th place with a 2.54 value, the best value of the whole weekend. Sebastian Vettel under 1. Plenty of that second column less than 1. But if that helps out, if that helps you with your planning, with your thinking for your fantasy teams, the constructors, here they are with Mercedes 70 points, Ferrari 49. The top value pick is McLaren. They had a great weekend in France. Renault, unfortunately, with that demotion to Daniel Ricciardo, getting bumped down the order just a touch. But definitely McLaren with Mercedes just on their heels for value. The French Grand Prix Dream Team looks like this. Now I do need to say that in Canada I got it wrong, but no one picked me up on it. If you think you can do have a better Dream Team than this, let me know. This is what it looks like with the turbo on Kimi Raikkonen for 205 points at a total of $99.8 million. That is a super good team. I actually had a bunch of those guys in my team, which is pretty cool. The dud team looks like this. If you had Grosjean, unfortunately, he didn't finish again. Poor Roman Grosjean in the Haas. We ended up with minus 20 points, but you're not using your value, so is the dud team really something that we need to consider? But realistically, these are the guys that you don't want in your team. Unfortunately, Ricciardo ending up in there again. Haas, the team not to have at the moment. The bonus chance, remember, if your drivers finish in the top 10 in qualifying in race for 5 races, or both drivers for a team for 3 races, you get bonus points. This is what we were looking at for France. We had Magnussen, Gasly, Ricciardo, all with a 3, and in France, Magnussen missed out. So Gasly and Ricciardo up for bonuses in qualifying in Austria. Might want to pick those guys up in the race. Gasly and Kvyat both on 3, and Gasly moving on to Austria with both bonus chances active. So Gasly, if he qualifies top 10, if he finishes top 10, bonus points for him next race. So just to clarify, this is where we are looking at the moment. Gasly, Ricciardo with the pluses, and only Gasly up for the race. That's where we are in Austria, with more bonus chances to come. In the constructors, we have Ferrari, McLaren and Mercedes all up for bonuses in Austria. Both drivers qualifying top 10 for 2 races in a row. Austria has a bonus chance. In the race, we only have Ferrari and Mercedes, who got top 10. Canada, France with Austria, their bonus chance for the 9th race of the season. Gee, Mercedes they're just raking in the points, the fantasy points. So the bonus chance for the British Grand Prix, if we look another race ahead, we've got Monaco, Canada, France. Depending on how they go in Austria, Hamilton, Vettel, Bottas, Sainz could be up for a bonus. In Great Britain, Hamilton, Vettel, Bottas again. 3 races, finishing the race top 10 with Verstappen, the other driver with the question mark for Austria. If they can finish qualifying, racing in the top 10 in Austria for the 10th race of the season, these guys could be up for bonuses. So look out for the results in Austria to find out how they go. Drivers standings now. These are the top 10 with Valtteri Bottas still the value pick. He is the value pick. Best bang for your buck, and only 11 points behind Hamilton in the drivers. The fantasy driver standings, Max Verstappen in 3rd there with George Russell still a fantastic value pick with 8.26 points per million. The second half, the bottom 10 looks like this. Unfortunately, Ricardo, still only 2 points. His fantasy season is not looking good, but hopefully we can turn it around. Hopefully with the Renault coming into Austria, they had a good P1. So hopefully that continues into the race. The constructors' standings now, Mercedes with 11.35 value, racing away at the top of the constructors' standings. Ferrari second, and Red Bull Alfa Romeo with a good value. The top value, Toro Rosso with the value. McLaren are coming good. Williams have got a good value, quite high values. The ones that you don't want at the moment are Renault and Haas. They are not looking good value. But remember, this is over the course of the whole season. Teams, drivers, they turn it around race to race. Different tracks suit different cars and different styles. So, yeah, keep looking at that. The Blockheads Fantasy Formula 1 League. Let me pause for a moment and say, if you would like to join this league, please do. Go to fantasy.formula1.com, use the code that's in the comments, in the description down below, and you can join this league. At the moment, we've got 6 drivers, six teams. 6 teams, that's it. But what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the weekend score. So in France, Mysterious Bright Mystery got 176 points. Well done there. Follow the signs. My team got 166, and then my other team got 155 for the gold, silver, and bronze last weekend in France. And let's since Baku. So Kevin joined from Colombia, joined in Baku, which was the fourth race. So since Baku, this is what the scores would look like if we only counted since Baku. 795 for Mysterious Bright Mystery, 776 for the Engine Blockheads, and 769 for Salma Mercedes. So pretty tight, actually, since Baku. So we've got the full standings there on the left, since we all started, since Salma and I both started in race 1, and then since Baku. So if someone else joins for Austria, then maybe I can have a since Austria table. We can see how we go from there. Anywho, just highlighting the top team for each driver, for each contender over the weekend. Salma Mercedes looked like this with 140. That was the top scoring for Salma. Mysterious Bright Mystery for Kevin looked like this with 176. The Engine Blockheads for France looked like this. Pretty good, if you ask me. 155, but still 50 off that top score. Still 50. Not sure what to do there. Not sure what to do to try and claw my way up the top. Don't know if you noticed the change for, not for France, it says France, change for Austria is this. Bringing in Ferrari instead of Red Bull. Hoping for the bonus points come next race, this race, Austria. Hoping for bonus points for Ferrari. But I'm also moving the turbo from Perez to Sainz. That's 2 moves for the Engine Blockheads. The other team follow the signs of mine. Looks like this. 166. Pretty good score last weekend. The double for Kevin Magnussen. Yes. This is the team for, not France again, Austria. And Lando Norris being brought in with the McLaren. He's doing pretty good at the moment. Sainz's teammate. Hopefully he doesn't follow the signs. Hopefully he progresses up. Doing really, really well in France until he had those issues with about 3, 4, 5 laps to go, and then you had Ricardo doing that overtake and getting penalised at the end. Bomber. Alright, so the Austrian Formula 1 Grand Prix is this weekend when this is actually uploaded, June 28th to 30th, and the qualifying runs begin from 3 PM local time on Saturday 29th. So if you want to change your teams, you don't have very long since this is uploaded, but maybe you're looking to play the long game. Maybe you're looking to take what I'm providing for you and looking long term, a bit more longer term with your team. But either way, I hope you're enjoying Formula 1 this season. It's been a bit of a boring season so far. Not many overtakes, but we can always look forward. We can always look up. And we can always play fantasy. Fantasy maybe is the game to play. Or if you're interested in WTF1, as a channel out there, a podcast series out there, they actually have a championship, which is the 1.5, Formula 1.5, and that takes out the top 3 teams. So no Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull. Where does everyone else finish? That's their game that they play. And yeah, that's another interesting one. So maybe we need to spice things up for ourselves to actually make this season a bit more interesting. But anyway, that's where we are. Austrian Grand Prix wrap to come this week. Hopefully I can get it done sooner rather than later, because we've got a big week coming up. But after Austria, we've got a bit of a gap. I think it's go back to another 2 weeks. Not quite summer break territory yet, but hope you're enjoying the Fantasy Formula 1. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are enjoying, please thumbs up, subscribe, leave comments. Always leave comments, they're always good. I will endeavour to reply. Join the league if you haven't already. And until next time, my name is Fox Blockhead. I'll see you later, alligators.